somebody, maybe reluctantly, and you don't want to offend the person who brought you here. But hopefully you can walk away with a little bit of information and knowledge that could be useful even if you, at the remote possibility, you do not sign your LOI or whatever. Okay? So we are, in fact, in nuskin, a science-based company. And sometimes it can be a little bit complicated and confusing to sort of say, oh, what does that mean? You know, science-based, so what, and so on. I think fundamentally science is a discipline that you have to do, right? Especially in this competition, in this marketplace that we call direct selling and so on. There are lots and lots of companies that will say what they say. And really, without any proof or evidence, they will just say what they say and make all sorts of claims. By contrast, we don't do that in nuskin. We have to do what we say. And that's where the science kicks in, right? That's why we do the scientific studies and so on. Frankly, in a way, nuskin doesn't have to do that. Because in order to do science, the company has to have a financial commitment to it. You know, our scientific studies and clinical studies, on the average, each and every one of those studies is likely to cost at least $100,000 US, right, to conduct and complete. So it's not a cheap proposition to say we are doing science. We have to do it. In order to do it, we have to fund it. Now, which leads me to another point for many of you. We're going to talk some new products. Roderick already mentioned, I'm going to tell you about Mind 360 and so on. And there's a lot of details and description that I'm going to share with you on that. But at the end of the day, I want you to walk away with an impression. The science goes through all the products. It's not just the Mind 360 and so on, right? And that's how we develop our products and how we innovate, is that we base it on data and evidence, because, you know, that's the only way we know how. And what does that mean, really? At the end of the day, for me personally, many of you, when you join this particular business and so on, you know, you'll be talking about our products and explain what they do and so on. Fundamentally, I don't want any of our products to embarrass you. That's really important to me, because insofar the business in and of itself, to be honest with you, is not sort of easy. You really have to put some effort behind it, or you have to put some muscle behind it. And in order to do that, right, the least I could return it as a favor, at the very least, is to make sure that our products are developed to the highest quality, to the highest standards, and really won't ever embarrass you. So that's really good. Especially in this marketplace here, right? The country is not very big. Your island from east to west in 20 minutes, probably I can travel from one end to the other. So you're going to meet some of the people, and eventually, somewhere, sometime in the future, and it's not the first time. So even if they don't join you in the business or whatever, when they take our products, you know they're safe and they're effective. Okay? That's why we do the science, and that's why we say science is in our DNA. That's who we are. That's what we do, and I don't think that will ever change. And that leads us to sort of having done innovation. Our products are fairly innovative, and we've been doing it for the last 40 years. Right? And what we have learned, and many of you, if you don't, especially if you're new, in nuskin, unfortunately I'm trying to get them to change the name, but they refuse. 50% of our revenue comes from our skincare line, and 50% of our global revenue comes from our nutritional supplements line, like the TR90 and now the TRme, right? So we're very well balanced. Most companies tend to be strong in just one category, whereas, and not in the other. You know, they're either good in skincare or they're good in nutrition, but neither will they be able to do both. nuskin has managed, almost like saying, managed and successfully the impossible, right? So because of that, we're over 500 products and so on, and we feel we have reached a stage where we can really sort of make a fairly plausible claim that we are a truly integrated beauty and wellness company. Right? That's what we are. And it's not just one over the other. Because after all, when you think about it, especially on the science side, it's really not that sort of strange. The skin, after all, is part and parcel of the rest of your body, right? So it's not a separate thing that exists on its own. What happens inside your body will be things that will be expressed on the skin and vice versa. I won't be talking about a particular product today, but it's the Well Spa. For the last year or so, we've launched that particular product. Initially, when we developed that product, we thought it was only a skincare device. Okay? But more we learned and more we tested it, we found out that it was indeed doing something inside the body as well. Something related to what we call the lymphatic system. So, in fact, it is actually an integrated beauty and wellness product. So that's why we do that. And we have this phrase, we call it a difference demonstrated. And that's just to remind me to tell you, right, some of you have asked the question, look, your products and so on, look behind the label, and I see exactly the same ingredients in a competitive product that costs 10 times less than your product. Why don't I use that product? Well, you can. The challenge is there are certain things that we do that they don't. And that is, do you put in the right amount? Do you actually test? After all, most of our ingredients that we use come from natural sources, leaves, roots, barks, whatever it is. And the problem is, if you don't test it, especially for active ingredients, you will never ever know what you have in your product. Example, if I put 2 tires here on the stage, and I say, pick a tire, you probably ask me, oh, which one is cheaper? I'll probably go for the cheaper one. It's round, it's black, you can't tell the difference. But a Michelin tire has specifications. You know, the branded ones, the ones with a good reputation and so on, and that you can rely on, they come with specifications. They know exactly how much rubber needs to be blended, what are the tread size, and so on and so forth. Those are the specifications for tires. For us, in the nutritional supplement skincare space, we set specifications for our product. Right? We know exactly when we put a ginkgo leaf together or green tea, we know how much active ingredients we need to add. We know how much we need to put in, right? We standardize. Now you're going to hear a little bit later on about the 6S process, but nonetheless, for now, just remember, we standardize our products, therefore it's reproducible. We have specifications. We can do it today, we can do it tomorrow, we can do it next year. Right. Many of you also have heard this other story about natural products. Well, all natural products are safe, right? And therefore it's okay. We don't have to test it because it's a natural product. Well, that's a little bit of a BS because seriously, if I just merely change and take and replace natural product with snake venom, and say this product is good for you because it's come from a natural product, it's called snake venom, I think you would hesitate. I think you will ask a few more questions. Wait a minute. Right? See the logic in it? Just think a little bit. And that's why I'm saying for new people, in the sense that these are some of the things that you will never ever get into your skin, that we just don't make claims they're safe and effective by just using really what I call throwaway phrases, right? We do have the scientific evidence to prove that. And that's why we have all these things that we have here, you know. And quality on this, so this 6S process, the standardization I just mentioned to you, is just one of many 6 steps that we do to ensure that our products are safe and they're reproducible. You know, it will take an hour for me, but just actually the success process is, in a way, if you're a bit knowledgeable about manufacturing, this is what we call good manufacturing practices. Yeah, and in fact, it's good enough that when the U.S. FDA was establishing good manufacturing practices, they actually pull a lot of things out of our success process to become the final GMP in the U.S. So it's pretty well validated. All right, we have a manufacturing facility. We have a good one in China, and soon you'll be seeing some of the product coming in nuskin being manufactured in our China facility, and they will be coming to Singapore. And I know you guys are pretty snobbish. You have this sense that perhaps a Chinese product is not up to the level of quality that you expect or wish. Let me put that thought away for you, right? This, even if it's coming from China, all our products are going to be made in or manufactured in our nuskin facility as the one there. Okay? In other words, it's not really made in China, it's actually made in nuskin China. That's a big difference. I totally recognize where your concern is and angst is coming from. Yeah? Because there are certain shoddy Chinese products, and it has caused a bit of a problem, particularly here in Singapore because you get it reported and so on. But rest assured that our nuskin products are made in our facility. All the employees and so on and so on, how we manufacture it, are exactly the same standards as the one that we use in the US. Right? There's no difference in a sense. So this is quite important for us to make sure that we don't just say, oh, we're going to go and make it in China. No, we make it in nuskin China. So all these things are just a sort of a backdrop to many of the things that we do in nuskin. So a recent platform, which is quite familiar to many of the folks here now, is a platform that we have adopted to develop and innovate our products with. And that is a platform that we call ageloc. It's fascinating, right? I was just in Indonesia, they asked me, how did you come up with this name? Well, it's sort of, we are an anti-aging company, yeah? So, and we have always wondered how, we can use this very technical term to describe our genetic platform, and I'll tell you a little bit about it. But I think for all of you, it's much easier if I just call it, or we decided to use this name. Because really, that's what it's all our products is about in some way locking in an aspect of aging. That's why we call it ageloc. And we ran out of space, so we took out the K. So that's really what it means. And it seems like universally and globally, this term has resonated, and it's easily to understand what it means. And the importance and the fundamental impact of this particular approach is the fact that we are not just covering up the signs of aging now, right? With ageloc, we are really going after the sources of aging, yeah? Because we are talking about genes, and we now have enough knowledge and discovery about the genome inside our body. We have roughly 23,000 genes and so on. Those genes are usually the starting points for anything that happens in your body. Whether it's body function, how you behave, how you think, and so on, it's due to some gene activation. Yeah? So, and therefore we think, well, the way to do it then is to look and see how we can influence the original source of aging at the genetic level. So that's the biggest difference, if you will, with the ageloc approach relative to what we had done before. And this is just a cartoon to show you, yeah? You're going to change physically my genes. So I'm going to walk around as a Frankenstein, or a Frankenstein monster, actually, to be more technically correct, right? No, we never ever will touch the physical nature of your genes. What we're doing is actually influencing the activity, in this case, expression of that particular gene or a set of genes. That's the difference, yeah? And the reason why we can do that is because that expression is not due to a physical change of your gene, but it's due to something that's covering it through your lifestyle habits. Yeah? It's been influenced by external factors, right? So if we can clean up or prevent those external factors from affecting the genetic activity, then we have a great chance of restoring you or resetting you back to a more, what we call a youthful state. That's what we do with ageloc. It's gene expression, not gene mutation, right? And TRme, which is the latest version of our weight management system, and this is, you know, TR90, and yeah, thanks to your monitor for doing all the work to discover what we did, and it's not, frankly, I'm not so surprised that we've become the #1 brand in weight management, because it works. You know, at the end of the day, it's really, that's the most important thing. And therefore, our latest version of our weight management is TRme. Now, here's another acronym, or a short form. We call it TRme. Well, the reason why we went up and call it TRme is we decided that we have enough knowledge now to personalize our weight management system. So it's about TRme. That's what it means. That you now have the ability to actually personalize the TRme system that we have provided for all of you. Okay? So it's the next level, if you will, from what we've been doing. And it's all because of ageloc understanding, the gene expression. We found genes, or we have identified genes that are directly related to how fat is being metabolized in the body and how we can make that fat metabolize quicker. But be that as it may, right, we also recognize, because putting on weight is really very much of a lifestyle sort of phenomenon, okay? And there are a whole bunch of things that are happening. And if I ask you, what do you think is the most important organ that controls weight? What would you say? All right, I'm going to wake you up. All right, James had to be quiet because he has heard this before. So the new folks, especially, put your hands up, and Nuskin Singapore will give you a TRme set. Okay. Only the new people, okay? Because I know you haven't heard this before. So, all right, let's make sure the people at the back don't go to sleep. So that lady, is that a lady right there? Yeah, can you stand up, please? If you're chosen to answer the question. What is the most important organ that controls weight? What did she say? I can't hear you, so you don't have a mic. What did you say? Did you say muscle? Yeah, sit down, you're wrong. Are you new? These are all my friends. I'm going to get you. All right, the one with the hat. Who's the guy in the hat? You put your hands up and start chatting and gossiping with your buddy. Okay, forget you.
Okay, I'm going to pass the mic.
All right, lady, black, okay, black. Oh, you got it. So here is our boss here in Singapore, Natalie. See her for the TRme set. It's interesting, isn't it? Yeah, I mean the hints are on this particular slide, in the sense that really, I mean, when you think about it, it's actually your brain. It's actually when the stomach gets full or not full, it sends signals to your brain to tell you to eat, or because you're hungry, or, you know, all other signals to make you go snacking. So it is indeed a brain, and that's why it's a holistic approach here again, that we do want to make sure that in the TRme, we have certain products that can help you to control your appetite, you know, and also to make sure that your lean muscle continues to be preserved and not lose it. Because muscle, believe it or not, you know, the more muscle you have, the more fat, and the more energy you will use up. And the energy will be at the sacrifice of the fat tissue. So that's good, right? And this is interesting. I mean, the brain continues to be, if you don't believe me, right? You think, oh, he's making it up. Just go watch the television when you get home. You sit down and you watch the television and you open your bag of chips. Whatever that you have in Singapore, right? And as you watch that, you start eating and you don't know how much you have eaten. Right? And food companies are rather clever because all these snacks are very salty. Salty tempts you to eat more without you realizing it. Yeah? And especially if you're a fan of a Korean TV show, they go forever, 40 episodes. Give me a break, you know, I don't have the patience, but you guys have the patience. You love those 40 episodes Korean TV that seems to go on forever and ever and ever. That's how you get fat. So that's why I put this up to make sure. So TRme is all about making sure that you're healthy. It's really I should call it a trick. It's really a trick. It's not so much of a weight management system, but it's really also a program that hopefully you will change your lifestyle. Okay? Because if we just launch a diet to help you, the mere word diet in English will somehow convey the message you won't need it anymore and you stop. Without changing your lifestyle. And that's not good. You will not be able to sustain any weight loss after that because you revert very quickly back to your old lifestyle. So we're hoping with TRme, you are able to learn that. There's another thing of human behavior that we have to acknowledge. I can do all kinds of science or whatever, but at the end of the day, you guys are very impatient. Okay? You have this proclivity to demand instant gratification. All right? You want instant results. That's what we have learned too from all the weight management programs. And somehow, after 2 weeks, if you step on a scale or whatever, and you don't see some weight loss, you won't continue, no matter how good the program is. All right? That's why with the TRme, with this particular product, I can at least, you know, help you to lose not a lot. It's very strange. You are actually a realist, and you won't expect a whole bunch of weight, but you can. It's not too bad. Half a kilo to 1 kilo, you will continue with the program. So that's why we call this product Jumpstart, right? You see, when your battery dies in your car, you're going to put a cable on, you jumpstart it. So our marketing people, well, I guess they're pretty clever. So my age, that's another one. I told you about the brain, appetite control, snacking, and so on. My age will help you do that and control your appetite. Yeah. So one of the things that you can do, obviously, I mentioned you the signal in your stomach. If I can get your stomach to feel that it's full with this particular My Edge product, it will. You're not going to eat snacks so much. Now, if you're depressed, I can almost assure you, you're going to eat more. Right? So therefore, mood is very important. And there's another thing related to the brain. I want to make sure that we have a product that can help to support you and to have you in a positive mood. And this year's control product will be able to do that, right? Stress is another one, yeah? You stress is probably another form of depression and so on. And that will also induce you to really go and eat a lot more, you know. So CS control is something that will control that. And finally, I've already hinted at the fact we want to maintain lean muscle. What you want to lose is fat tissue. Yeah? So our TRme ensures that you actually can maintain the lean muscle, and all the loss will come from fat. Because if you get on a scale, you can never really actually tell or differentiate where that weight loss is coming from. But with this particular MC complex, our studies would show that it is coming, you know, majority are coming from fat. And also to make sure that happens, and actually you're going to grow some fat, we give you a protein shake. So this is a trim shake, we call it. And really, muscle can't grow if you don't have proteins. And this product will give you a really good level of protein. Asian diets are rather, actually, I guess I shouldn't say inferior, but it's different. Insofar as it's very carbohydrate based. Yeah, all your rice and all your noodles, they're carbohydrates. To make it even worse, the white rice is processed carbohydrates. And that gets converted to sugar very quickly. Right? So that's why many Westerners, when they eat rice, 2 hours later, they complain they're hungry. Right? Whereas if you eat the same amount of protein, it tends to stay in your stomach and so on. You don't feel hungry so quickly. Because the white rice gets converted into sugar very quickly, and you get deposited. There are only 2 ways. Sugar is nothing but a source of energy. Right? If you don't use it up, it becomes fat. As simple as that. So, and that's the challenge, you know, with some of the processed carbohydrates. So, and then obviously portions control and so on is important. We don't want to make this too complicated, because the more complicated this becomes, the less you are likely to follow it. So just use your fist, totally different. Because the color, it tells me how much gene activity is happening in a particular gene. So there are hundreds and thousands of genes there. When we look at, not hundreds of thousands, it's thousands of them, and we look and see the profile. It's very similar to a fingerprint, you know. And so once I have a fingerprint, I sort of know what exactly do I need to reproduce with our products. So high success rate with a clinical study, and really this is what we have proven, that it's really only fat loss and so on. So this is really our ageloc weight management system. Okay, so Mind 360. Tell me why. I say why. It says I can't find it in the Oxford Dictionary, and it says it stands for My New Day. See, you know marketing guys, right? Follow this. All right. So now we know how they came up with this name, and they have the number 360. It's a circle. It's a holistic approach. We believe that mental wellness or mental well-being is really related to a vicious circle. Yeah, and the things that are in the cycle or circle would be sleep, focus, memory, and stress. Those are the things. And they all are interconnected. And that's why we have the products to address each and every one of them. Yeah. So maybe this video will...
We've got a problem. A big problem. No matter who we are, no matter where we live, 93% of us have concerns related to sleep, stress, focus, or memory. And 84% of us say we want help.
When I have a bad night's sleep, I can't focus the next day.
It's very difficult to focus, it's very difficult to do my daily activities, and it sucks.
And when I have stress, I have very problems to focus on my goals.
When I can't focus on my purpose and my mission and what I'm doing, it's just paralyzing.
You meet somebody, and you know them, but you can't remember their name. And it's embarrassing.
Así que sufrimos de estrés diario.
No queremos sentirnos así.
Queremos estar bien.
So when I get a perfect night's sleep, the next day for me is just exhilarating, I'm full of energy, I feel refreshed, and I can just maximize everything that I want to do in the day.
I get up in the morning and I'm ready to go. I'm ready to talk to people. I'm ready to face the world. I love a good night's sleep. It's the best. Waking up really energized, and I would like really to conquer all the world.
When I can focus, I get in a really flow state. Everything just moves seamlessly.
I think when you're in that type of flow, things come easier for you, and you're more positive to speak to more people.
For 7 years, we poured all our best thinking into creating full circle solutions that are safe, scientifically proven, and so good for your mental well-being, we called it Mind 360. From memory to focus, and stress to sleep. We thought of it all, so you don't have to. And of course, each product is mindfully formulated to give you maximum benefits. Because when your mind is sharp, your body is rested, and your mood is calm, you're ready to take on the day, one mindful moment at a time. Mind 360, because your mind matters.
Each and every one of us will have some sort of mental well-being defect or deficiency, right? And that is either you can't sleep, or either you can't focus, or memory, and so on. So there's a particular area. That's how these numbers, this is conducted, similar, not with Euromonitor, but, with some other group and survey, and that's what we came out with. So, and clearly with mental well-being is also, is the #1 aspect of staying healthy. It's very interesting. Everybody has a concern and everybody wishes to have something that can help them. So there's just definitely a demand for such products. And just on the number side, it keeps growing. Just on the global, what do you call it, the CAGR, or the rate of growth is about 13% every year, and it might reach very quickly more than $23 billion in terms of mental well-being supplements and so on. So, but more importantly, what I want to tell you is, I mentioned in a way or into that we believe that mind, or the mental well-being, is something to do, is related as a circular phenomenon. In other words, we need to have a holistic approach to it, right? So let me take you through why we think it exists in a circular motion. When you wake up, you couldn't sleep last night, and you wake up in the morning, and your kids are bothering you, and I need breakfast before they go to school. So I'm mother, father, whatever, and then you're stressed out. Your stress level goes up. You prepare the meal and breakfast and so on, everybody's happy, you go off to work, and immediately in the office, your supervisor or your manager or whoever will say, where's your project? Have you done it yet? See, then you sort of think, what project? I can't even remember I had a project to finish. The stress level goes up. Yeah? You haven't finished your project yet, and your boss is giving you a hard time. And then, not all, she hands you, or he hands you, another project. You just pile on, right? 5 o'clock comes on, and then you go home, and once again the kids are asking for meals and so on. You're still, you can't focus anymore, right? There's no way. It's stress, lack of sleep, everything contribute to the fact that you can't focus so well. And then finally you are able to go to bed, you just can't go to sleep. You see how it becomes a vicious cycle? And it continues every day. And what we think, essentially, that can help you is not to recommend you taking each and every one of these products, but actually, if we can help you use one of these products to break the cycle, that's when you have a really good chance. Once you break the cycle, everything starts clicking together. So that's how we look at it. And nobody has put all these things together in that fashion. It's like, oh, take this incredible product and then everything, your mental well-being is good. Well, no, mental well-being comes in different forms. You need different kinds of interruption. But interestingly enough, again, the survey, whenever we ask a person about this category, the first reaction is, I don't care whether your product is effective and is good for me, it better be safe. Time and time again, this comes up. And therefore, the reason I put this slide up is because we never ever, and you guys, in a way, when we talk about products, it's assumed they're safe. You assume they're safe. It's never been the uppermost thing I should talk about. But it's so happened in mental well-being, safety is an important issue. Yeah? In fact, I'd rather be safe, I don't care whether it works or not, but it better be safe. So, I don't know why, but that's what the data shows, and I just want to emphasize the success process. Safety is one of the assets. You know, it's always been. Our products have always been, I've said it quite a few times, that our products have to be safe and effective. So that's what we have. Sleep product, here again, you know, it's about not how long you sleep, it's the quality of your sleep. Some folks will get by with 6 hours of sleep. Some people might need 8. But nonetheless, it's the quality of sleep. And that's we think of what our product will deliver, is really improving the quality of your sleep. Yeah? Once you do that, and once you have a better quality of sleep, you will feel refreshed. So that's what we're doing. And these are just all the improvements. And interestingly enough, you look at the last one, it's sort of interesting, right? We actually we saw an improvement even on your skin with the sleep product. Nobody measures it. And that's the important things of doing science, right? And I'll conduct our clinical studies. Because you will see things that nobody would see if they don't do their studies. And just so happened that we saw really a fairly significant improvement even in your skin radiance when you sleep better. So that's a good thing. Calm is just another of our stress things. And it's really, once again, breaking the cycle if you're really stressful. And it really helps in that sense. Focus is really about your time. Is what we call it mindful. So, you know, there's one thing we can't help you with our mental well-being. And that's, in a way, obvious, but the science doesn't allow me to do that yet because I don't know how. And that is, if you're stupid, you will remain stupid. I don't have a product yet. nuskin doesn't have a product that can actually, you know, make you clever in a sense. It's really a tough deal. But this is just what makes Mind 360 unique. And I'm hoping you'll find it. When you use it, you're starting to see where you should attack this so-called vicious cycle. And it makes the utmost, I think, the best advantage of Mind 360. I know you're going to ask me, so I might as well preempt it and tell you. So this is where I get into trouble with my colleagues, and because they think I'm a blabbermouth, I'm going to tell you things. Let's see how I can tell you without disclosing what the product is. All right, we've reached a point like everything else, right? So we had something that we launched almost 2003 or whatever it is. 2003, that's 2003. Oh, it's almost 20, is it 20 years? Something like that. Anyway, close to that. Slightly less than that. We have gathered a lot of information from that particular product. Okay? And this information is really unique to nuskin, insofar as nobody has been able to actually gather that kind of nutritional information, health information, and so on. Yeah? And it has given us a database. Okay? So many of you are very excited about AI, right? You know what AI is, right? Artificial intelligence. But do you know what drives artificial intelligence? there are only two things. One is the power of the computing system that we already have right now. That's done, it's huge, right? And so on. I mean, your smartphone has more computing power than the computer that sent a man to the moon. You didn't know that, did you? Your smartphone, just your smartphone, has more computing power than all the NASA computing power back in 1969 or thereabouts. Okay. So we have the computing power. What we don't have, especially in our area, is information, or what we call a database. Yeah? That we can feed the computer. The computer, AI, in other words, the computer cannot get clever or machine learn if it doesn't have data. You don't believe me? When we were born, we already have a brain, right? Why did we have to go to school? We should be clever, we should be intelligent by then, right? We went to school because we have to put data into our brain. It's the same with a computer. We have to feed it with data. So we have this data now, and therefore, you know, we're using all that information to sort of create a new platform that is really, that can integrate beauty and wellness together and provide all of you with a platform that, you're going to be a consultant. You're going to be a beauty and wellness teacher or, you know, consultant. So that's all I can say. That's all I have. The potential, there's a lot of potential. Please don't ask me because I need to go home tomorrow. And I need to go home. I cannot have, you know, my management colleagues and all the other senior colleagues standing in front of the office door with a gun. They have lots of guns in Utah. So anyway, so I'm hoping you're starting. If you just go home and think about it, you know, what is he talking about? We're talking about a transformation platform. Very, very. It's going to be an incredible sea change for our business in nuskin. Okay, so that's it. I think. Yeah, so thanks for listening. And maybe next time we can talk about what on earth I'm talking about in very vague terms. Okay, bye bye.
Thank you, Dr. Chang, for your wonderful speaking. Okay, don't ask me. I also don't know what Joe is saying on the last slide here.